Welcome to the Walkabout for the ROCKWOOL France Sail Grand Prix in Saint-Tropez. The athletes are just getting a photo shoot done right now. As you can see, it's quite windy at the moment, but as soon as they wrap, I'm going to have a chat to some of the athletes and see what's in store this weekend. Nikolai, well, it's the ROCKWOOL France Sail Grand Prix, so you're not in Denmark, but a home event for you. What's in store from a ROCKWOOL perspective?
Well, I think the forecast looks pretty good. So obviously people want to see good conditions and fast speeds and all that stuff. So I think that's the main thing that's important this weekend. And then obviously we got to make some good results to cheer them up in the lounges and the grandstands, and that'll be the goal for us. And
it's been an interesting season for you guys, but obviously in Sassnitz you got the speed record. That was super exciting. But I guess you just want to get your final here in Saint-Tropez.
I think interesting is a kind word. I would have chosen a different one, but no, it's just these new T-foils has been a shocker for us, to put it straight, this season. You know, we came off, I think, 6 or 7 podiums last season, and this one we still haven't got one. So, yeah, we're struggling, and we still are, to be honest. We saw that in Germany. We're still struggling in some areas with the T-foils, but we just got to keep working. There's no shortcuts. There's no magic formula. It's just hard work and keep learning and developing. And I think we're closer now than we had been the whole season. Germany showed that we were closer, and I hope that hopefully this weekend we can just put it all together and maybe get a podium this weekend.
Yeah, about the T-foils, like obviously it completely changes sort of the way you sail the boat and the way that you mowed the boat. Is that sort of where you're still learning?
Yeah, I think, well, we obviously sort of know what to do because all the data is available and stuff. The hard bit is actually doing it, like sailing it at a high level, you know, constantly adjusting and moving all these settings we have now compared to the old foils, so it's a bit static. It's a challenge for us, and it's definitely something where you can see some of the other teams have a lot of cup years and done a good job with that. And well, our focus is learning as fast as we can, so season 6 not going to be the same story as season 5 is for us.
And looking forward to this weekend, obviously you got the speed record in Sassnitz, so you love a bit of breeze. Do you reckon you could have pushed the boat any harder?
Oh, for sure. I mean, to be honest, we don't care too much about the speed record. I would have swapped that in a heartbeat for one place in the podium or even a place in the scoreboard. But I think we're also a team who loves pushing, and I think everyone knows that. So if we could go in these conditions, we would love it, because it just gives us opportunities to just push a little bit harder than some of the other teams are willing to, and just keep it sort of on the limit, which we enjoy. But we also you can't just push your way to results. You got to be, you know, clean and smart, and also just technical skills. So it's a fine balance, but we're definitely keen to push if the breeze shows up.
Awesome. Well, have a good weekend, and thanks for chatting.
Thanks, Lisa.
Thanks. Conton, you're here for your home event. I'm sure it's been busy in the lead up, but how much are you looking forward to racing in front of the home fans?
Yeah, super motivated and exciting, honestly. Yeah, we've been doing well here, but never the final, so we're fully focused on it.
Well, you're in a good momentum, obviously winning in Sassnitz. How did that win feel now you've had a bit of time to reflect on what a crazy weekend it was?
Yeah, it was an amazing feeling. Like, you work so hard for this kind of moment, and it's not happening all the time. So yeah, we just had a really good time, and but we did also obviously some major mistakes on Sunday. So we were debriefing that yesterday morning, and I'm sure here in Saint-Tropez it will be a good progress.
And the wind is in for tomorrow, especially. Are you looking forward to racing here? Obviously, it's going to be gusty, it's going to be windy. You like that stuff, right?
Yeah, it will remember us 2 years ago in Saint-Tropez on Saturday. Like, it was on the edge, super rough. So, yeah, I think tomorrow will be windy again, probably less than today, but it will be again on the edge, super close, and really high speed. So yeah, I enjoyed this condition, and hopefully we'll send it.
Well, when you talk about sending it, obviously the Danish got the speed record off you. You held it here last time. How does it feel when you're absolutely sending it on an F50? Do you just want to keep pushing, or do you know the limit yet, or you're still trying to find it?
Yeah, honestly, it's so much happiness. Yeah, the boat is shaking around, and you don't feel the control that usually you have. So yeah, you never know how it will end. So it's kind of the mystery, and I like it. So yeah, as soon as you've got the adrenaline, we're just focused for winning. It doesn't matter if it's on the edge or not.
Well, you found the edge in Sassnitz, obviously, with that rudder flying off, but we've got new rudders this weekend. So what are they going to change on the F50?
I think the large elevators are bigger than it was. In light wind, it will be even easier to take off. And for the high-speed rudders, it will be even faster for sure. The new design is for sure faster. It will be also more reliable. So I think it's a good improvement for the league.
Sounds awesome. Well, enjoy the weekend and send it.
Thank you.
Dylan, well, Sassnitz wasn't that long ago, but I mean, what a whirlwind that Sunday was for you to make it into the final. Have you sort of processed what that Sunday was like for you guys?
Yeah, quite an incredible weekend. Just still got to say a massive thank you to the tech team and short team, and it's great to be in that final. But yeah, we were disappointed to miss out on that top set.
And you're back in the top 3 now. Points are close. Are you looking behind you, or are you just looking ahead right now?
Yeah, it's sharp end of the season now. Four events left, and we've just got all eyes on that grand final in Abu Dhabi.
And do you have to think about sort of points at this stage, or it's just trying to win events still?
Oh, just win events.
So this is your first time racing the F50 in Saint-Tropez. It's pretty windy today for practice day. Obviously that's not going to happen, but tomorrow's still looking pretty sporty out there?
Yeah, tomorrow looks pretty sporty, that's to say the least. Could be similar to that, I think, event a couple of years ago. New high-speed rudders, maybe we'll see another top speed.
And what's it like out there? Obviously when you're racing and it's so windy, it's sort of like on the edge of control. Are you still able to play the tactical game, or is it really head in the boat, just get the boat around the course?
Now, the level's so high now in SailGP, we're racing the whole time, even up to the limit, we're still pushing hard.
And without having practice racing, it's sort of all guns blazing going into the race weekend then?
Yeah, certainly I think it's my first time this sort of year, having not got a day in the yacht before we go out, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
Awesome, well thanks for chatting and enjoy the weekend racing.
Thanks.
Tash, well you're all dressed up, you've got no place to go, no practice racing today, but tomorrow's still looking pretty good for racing.
Yeah, I mean, we were pretty sad when they called the racing or practice racing off yesterday, but coming down here this morning, I think I really understand the decision. And yeah, tomorrow will be awesome, good breeze forecast, and yeah, I'm really excited to get out there and race.
Now you guys are back on the top spot on the leaderboard, tied with New Zealand, points are super close. How much is momentum going to play a role at sort of this pointy end of the season?
Yeah, I mean a little bit. I think we had a bit of a shift in Sassnitz. We all came out of that event really fired up and got 3 events really close to each other here. We've got back-to-back this weekend, next weekend, 1 week off, and then we're off to Coutts. So I think, yeah, we're just going to hit this one with everything and hopefully we can carry it through the next month.
And your team, you know, you guys love winning, as does everybody, but it's been a while since you got a event win. How much are you guys just raring for that?
I mean, it has been a little while. We're looking back at some footage of the high wind sailing in Auckland, and I think we're all just, it definitely fired us up to come out here and swinging, and we really want to get that win.
And you kind of touched on the couple of events in a row, but they're all very different venues. How do you sort of adapt when they're, you know, all so close together? Are you looking back at old footage like you were saying?
Yeah, so yesterday we sat down and watched the footage of, I think it must have been 3 years ago or 2 years ago here in the Mistral conditions, and watched, we didn't have the best day that day, but we sat there and watched, we're like, okay, what can we learn from this? And we thought that was going to be similar to today and probably again tomorrow. So yeah, looking back at footage, but we have so much to work on. We have a list to tick through, and yeah, we're just slowly getting through it.
Now that iconic luff by the New Zealand to the finish where you guys just absolutely had that massive nosedive, I guess you're not going to let that happen again.
That is brought up most times. I actually wasn't on board for that event, but I remember watching it and it was a real shame. But yeah, we don't really want to talk about it too much, but I guess if we had the opportunity to do it back to then, I'm sure Slinger will remember that.
All right, stand by. We'll have an awesome weekend and thanks for chatting.
No worries. Thanks, Lise.
Liv, you just wrapped up your photo shoot. We're a bit windswept here. Breeze is on, but no practice racing today. Straight into it tomorrow. You ready for that?
Yeah, I mean, you got to be, right? I don't think we got much of a choice, but yeah, it's definitely breeze on. So I think they made the good call of not going racing today, and it's still pretty windy tomorrow. So I think it's going to be all going on.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait to watch. But I mean, talking about the rest of the season, we've got 4 events left to the final. You guys are tied on points at the top. Do you think about the overalls right now, or you just want to knock those Aussies back off the top?
I mean, yes. Straight answer. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of back and forth, right? You got to think about it and got to be aware of who's around, but at the same time, 3 events in 4 weeks, so much can happen. So I think it's really important to just focus on the moment of winning, you know, each race, getting into that final, and really making the most of each event. Yeah, it's too far to think about. I mean, SailGP, anything can happen, so let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, we definitely saw that in Sassnitz. You've got to kind of stay out of trouble. Does that play on your mind, you know, on a day like, you know, tomorrow where it's windy, you know, people might be a little bit out of control?
Yeah, I think yes and no. You obviously think about risk reward a little bit. When it's windy, it's like always a step up. Yes, you think about safety, you think about those elements a bit more, but I'd say, I mean, you're always going for the win. We all know that, you know, Pete really pushes, like we all push the boat, but Pete really goes for every inch. So yeah, I don't think the mentality changes at all, but yeah, we're obviously not going to put ourselves at risk, no.
And when it is top end like that, what's sort of the hardest part about, navigating an F50 in those top end conditions?
Well, it depends if we're on the 18 or 24, I think. There's definitely, different differences there in the sea state and all those kind of things. But yeah, I mean, we had some epic racing here in Saint-Tropez a few years ago when it was super windy. So hopefully we see those top end speeds again. Try and crack the Danish top speed would be pretty cool. But yeah, it's more about boat handling, as you know, and I guess just the speed convergences is much higher, so you got to be really aware of your surroundings. It's a bit harder to cross a boat as well, I'd say that.
Well, you're going to be looking super far ahead as a strategist, I'm sure. Have a great weekend. Thanks for chatting, and yeah, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, some of the athletes are taking off to the press conference, so I'm going to follow them and see if we can grab a few more over there. Martini, it's awesome to be here in Saint-Tropez, but a very stressful couple of weeks for you, I imagine, wondering if your boat would make it, but I saw it got craned into the water yesterday.
Yeah, we are still going through some checks. Got craned into the water yesterday. We were trying to see if we could go for a commissioning. We still need to go through that before going sailing tomorrow. So today no sailing allowed, but let's see if commissioning goes well tomorrow morning. We can go racing.
A pretty incredible job by the tech team. I've seen some footage about what was happening in their facility in Southampton. Were you getting daily updates, or were you just like, I'm not going to think about it until I get to Saint-Tropez?
I was quite nervous until it got started, and then when I saw the rhythm of it going, I kind of left in their hands, and yeah, I think everything was pretty organized, and it was like state of the art, rebuild to make the boats come here, and not just the rebuild, but the whole organization with the transportation, which is, nowadays it could be quite complicated.
It's pretty incredible, so exciting. I guess tomorrow's forecast is looking pretty windy. Are you looking forward to getting out there and just starting again?
Yeah, our team is very eager to go back to the water. It is always important for us not to have such big breaks and get the momentum. Since we started, we have improved such so much, and we just wanted to get going.
And we've got, a couple of events in a row as well, which will be really awesome for you guys. Obviously, another event next week in Geneva, and then just a week off for Cadiz. So I guess that will suit your team.
Yes, I think 2 events back to back is really tricky because you have very little time to, analyze your performance, and there's no time for recoveries for big crashes like the one we had before. So luckily, there was just enough time to put the boat back together, and hopefully these 2 events is going to be really good to get the momentum going again.
Awesome. Well, thanks for chatting, and enjoy the weekend racing here.
Thank you.
Taylor, nice to see you guys. Obviously there was a little bit of a push to get the boat here, but awesome to see it in one piece ready to go.
Yeah, it's great to be here, and the tech team put in a huge effort to get the boat here, and yeah, we're excited to get out racing.
Now it's going to be a little bit tough, no practice racing, but are you guys studying all the past events here? I know for some members on your team, they've got good memories here.
Yeah, it's I think today and tomorrow are very much like one of the days I had a few years ago here in Saint-Tropez. So definitely studying the video and getting that 18-meter wing ready, it looks like, and yeah, we're excited. I've done one Saint-Tropez myself, or maybe one myself. So bringing back good memories, and yeah, we're excited to be out on the water here in France.
Now, it obviously was such a shame to finish in Sassnitz the way that you did. You guys were sailing so well that day. Have you managed to focus on that and kind of review what went well and try to replicate it here?
Yeah, I think it goes without saying that we were sailing really well leading up into everything that unfolded there, and yeah, we've addressed it all, and we're just excited to be on the water here in Saint-Tropez. So we've made some good improvements and made a few crew changes, and that's all showing to be pretty good so far.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about those crew changes. So obviously you have a new wing trim and new strategist on board. Can you tell us sort of how that sort of went down and what they're bringing to the team?
Yeah, I mean, just a ton of experience with Michael Manager and Andrew Campbell, who were racing in Sassnitz and will likely race here. And yeah, it's just a matter of them getting them used to the boat. And they both have America's Cup experience, and Andrew's been on the U.S. team previously, so he brings a lot of knowledge from you know, having raced these boats before, and also that America's Cup side of things. So, but yeah, they've both done a great job stepping into the roles, and yeah, there's only more to come from them.
Is it nice for you? I guess you're still a relatively new driver here. Other people to lean on a little bit?
Yeah, you know, it's everyone is so loaded up in their own roles on board, so I'll take any help I can get, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm definitely getting more comfortable myself, and yeah, it's an exciting time for the team, and there's a lot of growth happening, and yeah, we're clearly getting better as the results are showing.
Well, a couple of back-to-back events to keep the momentum. Thanks for chatting, Taylor, and good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, well, we're back for another pre-event Russell report. Russell, there's so much has happened between Sassnitz. What a mammoth effort by the SailGP Technologies. What was the last 2 weeks like trying to get Brazil and USA back on the water?
Well, yeah, amazing effort from the new technologies team. Over 4,000 hours, you know, completing those jobs. So incredible, and you know, really, we wouldn't have been capable of doing that 6 months ago even, you know, so hats off to them. Amazing effort. Great to see Mubadala Brazil and the US team back on the start line. Saint-Tropez delivers, and this weekend it looks like it's going to deliver.
Yeah, it's looking fantastic, and good timing as well, because we've also got some new rudders as well. Can you tell us how they're going to change the grip of the boat?
Well, you know, we've just been discussing that, and actually we might run, tomorrow being absolutely top end, we might run the old high-speed rudders tomorrow, and then introduce the new high-speed ones when the breeze is a bit lighter on Saturday. Just to be, you know, with everything that's going on, just to be a little conservative, because there's a lot different about the new high-speed rudders. Obviously, they've been really well engineered, but they've got sweep, they're different section shape, and a slight variation in, you know, onset angle can make a huge difference in the forces at those sort of speeds. So we just want to take that a little bit cautiously and work into that.
Yeah, I guess without practice racing, people don't have time to really get used to it. So that makes sense. And then we're also at sort of like the pointy end of the season. It's getting really close at the top. A few boats sort of, you know, teams not really in contention anymore. How much do you think we're going to see little games being played out there, or is it a full throttle for race wins right now?
Well, you know, the teams that aren't probably going to make the grand final are still racing for, you know, $2.4 million in prize money between now and then, you know, so that's probably significant for most sailors. So they'll be working hard towards that, and that's excluding the $2 million, you know, grand final prize money. So, but I think realistically, as Canton said today, it's really between the top four as to who makes that podium. 4 excellent teams, you know. I mean, you just never know. Having said that, you never know. There could be a collision, points penalty. All of a sudden, the French are back in the game. You know, so they'll be pushing hard. I think the French, you know, prize money matters to them. I think they'll be racing for the win anyway.
Yeah, I think everyone's so competitive here. We've had so many different winners throughout the season so far. But looking ahead this weekend, who are you going to tip?
I think it's similar conditions to Sassnitz, actually, in a way. You know, I mean, it's possibly going to be a little windier tomorrow. I'm not sure about that. You know, it might be. We might wake up by race time. It might be, you know, a little bit lighter than what was forecast. But let's see. Could be windier too. But I think it'll be similar to Sassnitz in that it'll be offshore breeze, shifty, big lulls, gusts. You know, so I would think the teams that did well in Sassnitz might do well here again.
Well, either way, it's going to be a good show for everyone watching at home, and great for us. Well, thanks for chatting, Russell, and we'll catch you at the end of the weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's it for the Walkabout. As you heard, it's going to be an exciting weekend of racing here in Saint-Tropez. I can't wait. Make sure to tune in Friday and Saturday.